In blockchain, the term mass adoption seems to be used often, and for many, or at least the price-focused enthusiasts, creates this idea of a token value skyrocketing. But in reality, no blockchain, not even Bitcoin, has yet achieved mass adoption. A very small amount of the world's population actually hold, use and understand crypto, and this is where the opportunity truly lies. The fact that mass adoption is yet to be achieved means the doorway is wide open for any player to come and take hold of the network effect and realise adoption globally. Mass adoption doesn't rely solely on more people buying a certain crypto than another, but requires a system that is extremely robust, secure and scalable. It must have the ability to continually evolve, and needs to be accessible for everyone, anywhere, at any time. For such a system to exist, this requires a vision, time, careful thought, and gargantuan amount of resource, effort and expertise. Ultimately, it has to meet the needs for everyone, not a select few, and when I look at this criteria, it's Cardano that seems to be implementing all the required ingredients. The reason we've not yet seen mass adoption is because nothing yet has produced a system, not a coin but a system, that meets all the criteria mentioned. But I'd argue that we're closer to realising that very system than you would think. For the world to wake up to such a system, it needs to first be disillusioned with the current alternatives in place, which I think many are, and requires widespread education to enlighten them, which is work in progress. As Cardano embarks on its journey to true governance and decentralization, it raises the question, is Cardano now on the verge of being ready for the masses? Welcome back for today's instalment of Cardano Insights, delivering a fast-paced, bite-sized roundup of the all-important Cardano news and ecosystem content from the past 24 hours. Join me as I explore exactly what's been happening at the very pulse of Cardano. So let's get straight into it. Speaking of being ready for the masses, one of the Sapien subscribers requested I make a video on why Cardano, to help people interested in crypto understand exactly why we believe Cardano is the future of blockchain and the potential of its world-changing impact. This is currently in the making, but it's going to need a little more time to complete whilst managing the daily Cardano news insights I upload each weekday. So this brings me to our first topic, Cardano for the Masses. This is a book published by John Green in May of this year and has recently been noticed by many in the Cardano community and IOHK as a fantastic body of work. The book itself steers away from deep technical explanations and instead delivers a broad but comprehensive overview of Cardano, aimed at newcomers to the ecosystem. I actually got a copy of the book myself, and although I wouldn't consider myself a newcomer to Cardano, I'm finding it a really enjoyable read. Only 30 odd pages or so in, and already found some absolute gems of quotes from Charles that gives us a great insight to his time at Ethereum, that famous TED Talk, and eventually leading to founding Cardano. Writer John Green states that ever since he asked a question of Charles in one of the early AMAs, from that moment he intended to write this book on Cardano, seemingly inspired by Charles. We all know how impactful these AMA sessions are. Charles has a great ability to connect with the Cardano community and always delivers a mix of technical breakdowns, personal insights, and generally conveys the Cardano message effortlessly in these sessions, keeping us all real close to the progress, roadmap, and never to lose sight of the vision. As a side point, Charles recently did confirm the return of his regular AMAs soon, in this tweet, which I'm sure everyone will be welcoming with open arms. Now back to the book itself. As a brief overview, in Chapter 1 it covers high-level introduction to blockchain and how Cardano started. Chapter 2 delves into foundational concepts. Chapter 3 addresses proof of stake and Cardano's differentiators, and the remaining chapters walk through all aspects of the Cardano roadmap. The book is available on Amazon in Kindle format, so if you're new to Cardano or know someone who is, and they're looking for some good Cardano reading, then I definitely recommend you checking this out. I've linked everything in the description below, and once I get through it, maybe I'll recap it in a future video. Now speaking of books, a few weeks back we discussed BookToken on a previous episode, the NFT marketplace and exchange for buying, reading and selling ebooks. Well, today we got a short demo and explainer video from CEO Josh Stone. What I find really interesting about this concept fundamentally is the digital ownership aspect it brings into the world of ebooks or audiobooks. Currently when you purchase an ebook, it's just a license to view it and you never truly own a copy. The thought of this made me a little sad, considering I just purchased the Cardano for the Masses on Kindle, but I guess it opened my eyes a little here. This means a publisher, retailer or author could in effect, as Josh put it, take it right off your bookshelf. With Web3 technology and specifically with the Cardano blockchain, BookToken will enable completely decentralized and encrypted books in the form of NFTs, where you can not only own the digital copy, but you can exchange or send them to anyone in the world. In the demo, Josh highlights that currently the ebook industry is much larger than crypto, and over the next year, over 1 billion people will buy an ebook or audiobook. BookToken want these buyers to be purchasing the books through BookToken and own their copies on the Cardano blockchain. BookToken will in effect make the notion of ebooks completely decentralized. It doesn't point to a PDF, it's an encrypted file that holds all the assets of the book with no central database. Because of this, once you have ownership of a book NFT, you can store, read, enjoy, or trade them, or send them to friends and family entirely on the blockchain. Throughout the video, Josh also demonstrated sending an ebook NFT using the BookToken platform from wallet to wallet using Nami, and the delivery was super fast. What BookToken are creating here is pretty revolutionary in terms of decentralized encrypted assets and could extend far beyond ebooks. Because the platform is completely decentralized, it can in effect be connected to globally, and BookToken are aiming to attract a huge percentage of that 1 billion ebook buyers into the Cardano ecosystem. When we think of mass adoption, it's not any one thing but a collection of many separate use cases that will lead to this, and BookToken are demonstrating that here, when considering just one industry like the ebook or audiobook world. I've linked the demo video in the description and definitely recommend you go give it a watch, and check out the platform BookToken itself, give the team a follow so you can track all their progress. Now, I've covered Maladex a few times on this channel and for good reason. Everything from their white paper, vision, innovative tech, solutions to improve the brittle nature of DeFi, engagement with the community, to the super impressive team behind the project itself, in my opinion it's going to make an incredible impact and statement not only just on the Cardano ecosystem, but blockchain wide when it comes to DEXs and the future of finance. So if you're like me, then I'm sure you're eagerly anticipating any form of announcement regarding the launch of the protocol. Well, sadly I have no dates for you, but maybe a very good hint that something big could be occurring in August. You may have already seen this, but last year Jarek appeared on Bullish Dumpling in an interview about Maladex. This was recently reshared on Twitter, and some of the Cardano community made it clear that the next instalment is well overdue. It seems that Bullish Dumpling was also keen on this idea of another interview with Maladex. Then Jarek himself gave us this: perhaps in the first half of August, it'd be an interesting timing, big smiley face. Maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but it certainly seems like August could be the month we finally get to see Maladex launch, or at least a big announcement regarding this, so watch this space. Sticking with Bullish Dumpling and DEXs for a moment, you may have recently seen some information coming out relating to Minswap and Wingriders, specifically regarding the exploit Wingriders revealed in the Minswap code that could have resulted in disastrous consequences had it not been found by a good actor and remedied. Recently, however, it came to light, which wasn't communicated at the time, that Wingriders had demanded a bounty before said exploit was provided to the Minswap team, to which they obliged, paid the bounty, and the exploit was resolved. This was not how we in the community had originally received the news, and at the time Wingriders were billed as the superheroes in the Cardano ecosystem that prevented potentially another casualty in the DeFi space. This caused a mixed bag of opinions, some saying that bounties are normal in the blockchain tech world, and people must be paid for their efforts or expertise, whilst others found this to be rather distasteful, as in fairness Wingriders did milk the PR and ride off the back of it for a while, which in my opinion was also damaging for Minswap's reputation as a fairly new project. Having this posted everywhere, especially the fact that they're basically competitors, it could have been viewed as a pretty low blow to not only demand bounty, but also beat the hell out of it using it as a tool to further enhance their social presence. But ultimately, whichever side you sit on here, some in the community are calling for clarity from both Wingriders and Minswap to clear the air. Bullish Dumpling posted this: some suggested that I host a space for Wingriders and Minswap DEX to discuss the recent event. I'm on the fence. While I'd love to hear the whole story, I'm concerned it will be two DEXs fighting and arguing, which is not a good look. Thoughts? And then posted this poll. And Wingriders responded, we're happy to participate in your AMA if the Cardano community votes for it as something of interest. As of yet, Minswap haven't responded, so make of that what you will. Maybe it's the time difference. But let me know in the comments where you stand on this. Was it handled correctly by Wingriders? And does it change your perception of them? For me, I have to say it's left me with some reservations about them as an outfit. Not necessarily because they demanded a bounty, but because they really did go a little OTT with the PR off the back of it. So yesterday you may have seen the news coming from John Woods, who announced, I'm thrilled to be taking the next step in my career and joining Algorand Foundation as CTO. I've had a wonderful time contributing to building Cardano at IOHK. We're all building the future of finance. For many, this caused a little panic, and as expected, when one of your prized assets is seen leaving for a competitor, it's always going to be a little alarming and led to many questions coming out of the Cardano community. This was put to rest with this tweet from Charles, who said, working with John while he was standing in for Duncan during his paternity leave was fun. I'm delighted to see John step up as a CTO, and it opens up many great opportunities for future collaboration and research. Algorand is an excellent project with exceptional people. So until now, most of us were not aware of this, that John was a kind of stand-in replacement for Duncan in his absence. And if so, then I guess it makes sense, with Duncan returning, maybe this was always in the plan. What we do know is John did a fantastic job in his time with Cardano, and it's not uncommon for people to progress their careers. They sometimes have to make big decisions and take on new challenges. For me personally, what I think I missed most about John was his innate ability to explain real complex concepts in the Cardano 360s in a way that a 10-year-old could understand. Really brilliant communication skills, and for this alone the Algorand community is certainly very lucky to have him. Not to mention how integral he's been for Cardano on the road to the Vassal upgrade. He'll certainly be missed. But I think I echo Charles' sentiment here. I think this could be really good for further collaboration in the crypto space. Whilst the Algorand community has never really been that receptive to Cardano, maybe John can help bridge some of those gaps or misconceptions and make for a more healthy relationship between the two communities. I'm sure everyone wishes John all the best, and I guess it's time to show some love to Duncan now he's back, and going by his recent interview at City AM, he seems very excited about what's coming on the horizon for Cardano. So that's it for another instalment of Cardano Insights. I hope you enjoyed today's video and found value in the content, and if you did, please be sure to comment, like, share and subscribe to the channel. We'll be back soon with your daily roundups. Until then, thanks for watching, have a great weekend, and as always, keep it Cardano.